finally set up at Woralie Creek.
After possibly the most atrocious setup ever.
It was horrific. It was torrential rain. I was out in it the entire time. April's out in it most of the time.
I did claim women's privilege and hid inside the camper for some of the most
I told
atrocious.
her to stay there the entire time, but she didn't want to listen.
No, you can't do everything by yourself.
Oh well.
But yes, it's quite wet and quite miserable. So
we're just laying on the bed, dried out, nice and warm.
Yeah.
Danny Dingo just trotted past to say g'day.
Cruised on along his way.
And yeah, even in average weather.
Probably can't really see through the gauze.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's the beach. Yeah. Can't get much of a prettier campsite, but...
Pretty much. That's the view from bed, so can't complain about that.
Hopefully tomorrow the weather will be better.
Yeah.
And we will be able to do some fishing and some sunbaking and some swimming.
That's the plan.
Hopefully Joel can get a shark.
Yeah, apparently they swim just out there, so they're looking good.
Fingers crossed, eh?
Yep.
First morning at Woralie Creek. Joel's gone all out, made us pancakes for brekkie. The sun is shining, very minimal breeze. The day is looking a lot more positive than it was yesterday.
Yep. And a couple of dingoes cruised through camp last night, which was cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Talk about a campsite, eh? That is
Right there.
Woralie Creek. And off just through that little gap is the ocean. Or Harvey Bay, as Joel likes to remind me. What's planned for the day, babe?
Not sure. Haven't really made one. Our clothesline just fell over, so that's awesome.
Can't deal with that sand. Yeah, but I think today's all about relaxation and fishing.
Just chill out, maybe go for a drive down to Coongal Creek, which is just down this way. Everyone catch fish. Stingray for shark bait.
After all this talking up, I'm going to be devastated if you don't reel in a shark. Talk yourself up, babe.
Plan.
Campsites really don't get any nicer than this. We have the freshwater creek, full of little baby fish and shrimp. Camp. Our floats. And then where we spend the majority of the mornings and afternoons. Perfect view of perfect beaches. A little perfect campsite.
What's going on, hon?
Well, you see, I'm mopping the camper floor with a microfiber wet cloth because I forgot a dustpan broom, and while we were setting up in the storm yesterday, we got a lot of sand in the camper, so this was our only option. So Joel's taking on the king shrimp at the creek to get me a clean microfiber cloth. And I'm cleaning the camper floor. The lesson here, guys, is don't forget a dustpan and broom. You two will be trying to mop the camper floor with microfiber cloth.
So April's all mopped the floor, a little container of water to rinse your feet on the way in, all the sand off, and no more sand inside the tent.
If there is, I may just shoot myself or whoever brings the sand in.
I know the other one here, so looks like I'm in trouble. Take you down and show you king shrimp. There must be heaps in this creek because every time you walk down here you see 3 or 4. ones. Absolutely giant ones in here that we saw just before. He went in those reeds, but take you for a swim later and we'll see what we can see. And the size of this bugger. Prawn cutlet out of that one. He's a big boy shrimp. There's heaps of them in here, eh?
Where are we?
Coongal Creek,
Coongal Creek.
which is the next one south from where we're in.
I wanted to say Cockle Creek, but I knew it was wrong.
This one's fully salt water. Oh, it's fresh further up, but some nipper holes and all sorts of stuff in here.
So I dropped the ball a little bit on my filming duties. I was off in the sun reading. But Joel managed to get 3 little whitings. 4. So are there 4 in this puddle? There only look like 3 in this puddle.
There's probably 3 together and one on the other side.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll give the stick. I'll scare him back out.
now he's got to get them back out so they can be dinner. This little mangrove puddle is as good as a bucket, right?
You can go around the other side and see if you can. If they go into that shallow area. And let them through into the shallows if you can.
Oh, okay. Try again. One beached himself over here.
That's good if he beached himself, get him. Chuck him on the sand.
I'm liking that. Oh, he de-beached himself. Bucket might be a tad easier. Alright, hang on. Fished out 3 very nice legal whiting. They will be dinner, won't they, honey?
They will.
Minus the sand, obviously.
And knock some fillets off them.
Yep.
Get the frames to go in there. Happy days.
Perfect. Now, while there have been times we can't get away from stingrays,
I'm going to try and catch one. The shark bait.
Hold on, wait and see what it is. is it, babe?
No idea. Possible little shark. Yeah, it might be a roach.
Looking like a roach.
It is fucking like a roach.
Now what do you call this?
Well, I generally call it a green toad. I'm not sure what they call them up here.
Quite an ugly fish.
They're a form of puffer fish. They do bite you off.
Sometimes life's hard, isn't it, honey?
Yep. Someone's gonna do it, but
Why not us? We had quite a successful day. We got some nice whiting for dinner. I'm gonna crumb them up in a little while, but in the meantime we have some nibbles, some cheese, some dip, some pretzels, a nice cold beverage, and a West Coast sunset. And honestly, in our books it really doesn't get any better.
it doesn't.
But it doesn't matter. What's for dinner, hun?
Fish and chips.
Not bad on Fraser Island, is it?
Not wrong. Chippies are going on. Crumb the fish up in a minute. It'll be nice.
Fish we caught today. Don't get any fresher. Caught, cooked and eaten all on the same day.
It looks like it's been bought.
Doesn't get any better than that.
Little lemon, we're good to go. What are you doing, huh?
Just finished downloading all of the footage and backing it up so we don't get home and forget what we did.
Very good. Nice little dinner size flatty.
Once again I was failing at my camera girl duties. I was busy reading in the sun and
April
Joel was
gave up.
fishing.
Literally just walked back up here and hooked him in 2 seconds.
Yeah. Yum.
Not a bad little fish.
No. I'm gonna claim that, but that was on my rod.
Just going to the mouth of this creek, guys. There's a fair bit of bait down there. It's getting pushed out with the tide and the flatties seem to be sitting up near the trees and stuff. So we'll go see if we can get another one. So many mullet and hardyhead in here. Tide's definitely starting to push out, but because that looks a lot fresher than when we first got it. Yep, fish. Oh, dropped him. No. Yep, got him again. Oh, he's a better fish, this one. He's a fair bit nicer fish. He'd probably be 70. He's a good fish. Nice fish. Probably 65. That hooks out of him and get him back. Here, buddy. That'll. Should want the lip grips with me. There he goes. Back down his creek to terrorise a few more mullet. Nice. Missed the hook up, guys. Missed the hook up, and I'm fishing pretty heavy, so he came in pretty quick. Another nice little flatty. This guy go too, good enough for dinner. Got a hook in a not great spot. Little bugger. There he goes. I'm just using a little 4-inch paddle tail. 3/8 jig head. I'm actually fishing pretty heavy because I was a bit unsure in Queensland. There's a few other things that could live in the same sort of areas that you're going to want a bit heavier gear for, so that's why I'm fishing so heavy.
Joel's off to check his crab pot. I'm not going with him because I am not that dedicated. The tide's a little higher than when he put it in yesterday, and I reckon he is going to have to get very wet to retrieve it. Plus, again, if you watched our previous videos, you know Joel doesn't have the greatest luck with crabbing. Fishing, yes. Crabbing, no. So I don't actually hold out much hope that there's anything in that crab trot that's worth going for the swim for, but we will see. I have been proven wrong before. Looks like Joel has also concluded that Joel would have to get very wet to walk over to it, so he's trying to snag it using a plastic. We'll see what his success rate is here. I don't know if he's aiming for the crab trap or the buoy, because boy is he a long way from the buoy. I'm gonna go with a no. He seems to be jiggling it about in the water a lot, so I think maybe it's more covered in mud than crab. Perfect place to set up for the day. Joel's gonna try and get some mullet. Got the shade up. I'm gonna have a float and a reed. Perfect.
Any better than Eli Creek? No people.
What's going on, shark bait hoo-ha-ha?
Well, everyone wants to see a shark. I haven't been able to get a bait big enough for a proper shark bait. So, I'm going to put a whiting in it. Whiting head out. See if we can get a little baby shark. See how we go.
Don't we wipe that on your new shorts?
He dripped it on there.
Yeah.
Anyway. them down there. Shovel and
You know, we'll reserve judgment until we check out the East Coast beach camps, but oh my god, I think West might be best. Here I am, sat on my own, enjoying this incredibly romantic sunset, and Giles down there on the beachfront, taking photos of his single most prized possession, his fishing rod. I'm sure every woman married to a fisherman understands. Alright, well we've had a very relaxing day today.
Yeah.
We went down this morning to the mouth of Woralie Creek and Joel attempted to catch some fish.
None today.
No, I had a sunbake and a reed, and then we had a lovely swim in Woralie Creek. Before we came back, we had some flatty for lunch that Joel caught yesterday, which was lovely. Quick dip in the ocean, and now we're going to go down and check out Awinya Creek. Awinya Creek?
Yep.
Yeah. The tide's dropped low enough now, so you can only pass from Woralie to Awinya at low tide. Otherwise,
there's an inland track that you can take, but if you want to drive along the beach, it's got to be fairly low.
yeah. Otherwise, this strip of beach
Doesn't exist.
disappears, is gone.
We've got about an hour till low, so we've got plenty of time.
Yeah. Yeah. If Awinya's half as pretty as Woralie, that'd be gorgeous.
Yeah. Awesome spot. Definitely come to the West Coast if you're coming to Fraser Island.
For sure. We enjoyed our time at Central Station purely because of its centralness. You know, you got to do all of those really like hot spot, you know,
Touristy.
Eli Creek and the Mahino and
Lake
Lake Mackenzie, Central Station itself, all of that really cool stuff which we enjoyed, we loved, but the West Coast, man, is just
something else.
Beyond beautiful. Like, if you want to come to Fraser and, you know, have something different to do every single day, and, you know, the West Coast maybe isn't for you, but if you want to come and you want to fish and swim and chill out,
yeah, it's next level. It's way up there with some of the coolest places I've ever been.
I never thought I would say that anywhere's prettier than Blacksmith's Beach, because Blacksmith's Beach is like my heart beach. It's the beach where I learn to swim, it's the beach where I learn about beaches, it's the beach, you know, I go back to every Christmas. But I gotta say, the west coast of Fraser Island might have to take first place as my favourite beach. Tough call to make. Badgery Creek campsite.
Bow Creek campsite.
Bow Creek campsite. Very small campsite.
Yeah, you only get one or two camps there.
So I mean, if you can swing it and you want privacy, might be the one for you. Another little washer. We heard a lot before we came to Fraser about the washouts being really terrible and causing a lot of accidents, but I think we found, like, as long as you were actually watching where you were going,
Not doing silly speeds.
they're really not an issue.
Like, if you're sitting 80 down the eastern beach and you come to a bad one, it's going to be a bad time. But if you're sitting on 60 and watching what you're doing, you're probably going to be alright.
Yeah, especially if you're watching that little bit further up the beach for those telltales, sort of, where they curve out from the dunes and that.
Yeah, yeah. You keep an eye out for that sort of thing. You're
Probably looking pretty.
All the washouts on the western beach are all creek mouths. You can't really miss them. Like, you'll notice the creek mouth before you notice the washout.
Very cool colours for the sand. And as has become our afternoon ritual, we have nibbles, we have the sun going down, I have a cocktail, Joel has a beer, the ocean is beautiful, life is good.
Shark bait in the water.
Shark bait in the water, life is good. That was another pretty epic West Coast sunset, wasn't it, hun?
It was. I don't get much better than that.
So we're just sitting here. Oh no, he's got a hole. He's made his own hole.
Oh.
You can't see him now because he's, hang on, you might be able to, down in there. So we're just sitting here having a lovely little chat. You hear a little click, 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 clicking. And along comes Mr. Ghost Crab.
Cheap bug.
Yeah. And of course we have bad experiences with ghost crabs because one Christmas a few years ago, my lovely little cousin Riley, if you're watching this, his brothers, his father and friend put a wet ghost crab.
Live wet ghost crab in our bed while we were asleep.
In this very camper.
Ben, if you're watching, I'm bringing this one home for you, mate.
So he better stay in his own hole for tonight.
Yeah. I think we set up on his house though, so.
How bad?
Yeah, no.
Good morning, and this is our last full day on the West Coast, unfortunately.
Yep. And we're driving the inland track again to go see Lake Elm.
Yeah. So we're going to check that out this morning and then cruise back to camp. I imagine Joel will probably want to have a fish at some point.
Probably.
And yeah, we'll just have a real cruisy day for our last day on the West Coast. Then tomorrow we will again be packing up for, what would that be, the 4th time this trip?
Something like that.
Hopefully in the dry. We've had to pack up wet twice. I would really appreciate being able to pack up in the dry this time. And then we'll be cruising over to Zone 8.
On the east coast.
On the east coast.
It's just north of Auckland Beach.
To have another 4 nights, which is our last 4 nights on Fraser Island. But we'll have a couple of nights on the way home as well.
Yep.
So yeah, let's go check out Lake Elm. One last epic West Coast sunset for our very last night on the west coast of Fraser Island.
Might be the best yet. Not sure, but it's got potential.
So we're leaving the West Coast very shortly, so just before we take off, and it's still all fresh in our mind, tips, tricks, hints, and everything in between for the West Coast. Ooh, dearie me. West Coast is gorgeous. Should definitely be on your Fraser bucket list. It is amazing. It's unfenced. We did see plenty of dingo activity, but they definitely left us alone. We ignored them and they just trotted on past. No dramas whatsoever. Remember, Woralie Creek you can get to without worrying about the tide, but Awinya and most of the other camps over there you need to beware of the tides. The beach is definitely softer than the East Coast beach, sorry, so be aware of that. Also be aware that you need to be totally self-sufficient. There are no showers, there are no toilets, there are no bins, there's nothing at all, so you need to be completely self-sufficient. But yeah, that's about it. The West Coast was awesome. 110% recommend. And that is Woralie Beach done and dusted.
Woralie Creek.
Woralie Creek. We're on a beach, close enough.
Absolutely awesome spot, guys. Get over here.
100%. In a true trick of Mother Nature, but we set up in the pouring rain and we have packed up in very warm weather.
Yeah.
So
It's like 27 degrees and sunny.
yeah, car read 30 when I turned it on earlier. So
Yeah.
yeah, true trick of nature. But we're heading over.
There's a creek right there to swim when we're packing up, so
Definite benefit. And we're heading over to the east coast now for hopefully another 4 nights. We're monitoring the weather. They're meant to get a bit of a storm maybe on our last night, so we might just take an extra night getting home and get off the island a night early, but we will see how we go. But yeah,
we'll just play it by ear, play it by the weather, and yeah.
And that's it for this episode. But so thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, do all of that.
Yep.
Check us out on our other socials, Insta, TikTok, Facebook, you know the drill by now, and we will catch you next week
Very
for another
soon.
episode.
Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next one,
Yeah.
which will be the Eastern Beach.
Catch you next time.